In this video, I'd like to go over some other types of graphs besides our histogram, frequency, polygon, and ogive. The graphs on this set of notes, or in this video, are more qualitative graphs. Qualitative. Okay, and I don't know if you remember qualitative, but the idea is that they're going to be qualities. You're going to see categorical data, and perhaps you remember the level or the type of data is also called nominal. Nominal data or names. All right, so first up is the bar graph. Bar graph is one that you learned probably back in about 3rd grade, if not before that. It can be drawn with either a horizontal bar or it can be drawn with a vertical bar. Okay, and then depending on if it's horizontal or vertical, then the frequency is on the opposite axis. Probably the most important thing to remember about a bar graph, as far as its special feature, is that the bars do not touch. It is not a continuous graph. Okay, so bars are not touching. So you draw one, skip a space, draw one, skip a space. All right, so maybe I didn't put a fancy example on here. Maybe we were in class and we talk about the eye color of students. Okay, so maybe it would be eye color and then how many. And maybe we just make a little chart of these, like blue. You could have green. Kind of hard for me to ask you right here because you're not all in class right now. So blue, green, I don't know. Some of you may have a brown eyes. Maybe hazel. I'm kind of out of room. I'm going to run into the next set of notes. Or next one. Make that around. And I don't know. Maybe there's 5 of these and 2 of these. 1 brown and 1 hazel or something. So you would just go over here and we would section this off. Okay, and make this nice and pretty and evenly spaced. And then we'd have a scale up the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see, who was first? Blue eyes. So we would just draw a column up here for blue eyes and you write the word underneath. Skip a space and go to the next one. I had green and I just made this up. Green was 2. We'd write the word green underneath. Skip a space and we would have 1 for brown. Skip a space. Got to extend that out a little bit. And we have a 1, I think I put in there for hazel. And you would type up or put up here a title, eye color, over here frequency, and then down at the bottom maybe you'd write colors or something. Okay, so that's a little bar graph. The order does not matter. We could put them alphabetical. You could do a small to big, big to small. Doesn't matter. Just when I look at your picture, I want to see spaces between. Okay, so that's the thing that's important. So if we talk about the shape of a bar graph, does it really have a shape? Well, it's whatever you make it. So in the world of what do you say for shape? Whoops, here. Change the color. Shape. If I ask you that question, I would answer no meaningful shape. Okay, there's one there, but it's a who cares. It's not a meaningful shape. All right, moving on. Next type of graph is something called Pareto. Pareto chart does the order you put things in matters. It always wants you to list the categories from largest to smallest. This time, the vertical, and it's vertical, I should say that, vertical bars, and they will touch. Okay, so this graph touches. And I started this one here. I just put in here types of crimes that happen in national parks. So if we were going to draw this guy, we'll just leave it blue. So first, or the tallest one, would be this one called assaults because it's the highest number. So I'm going to draw that one first. And again, vertical bar. So I'm going to take this clear up and I just counted by 20 because the scale's pretty big and estimate that. And again, you just write the word underneath. Okay, so this would be crimes. Maybe you call this national park. And over here, frequency. Okay, so next would be the 34. So we just kind of estimate 34. The next is 29. And the next is 13. And again, we would just write the name of the crime underneath. I'm kind of tight on space here. Maybe this one I should have turned it and written like this. Okay, but again, I think you get the idea there. So, but it has to be large to small. That's the feature of Pareto. And again, if I say shape, does it have a shape? Well, it is a right tail, but is it a who cares? It is definitely a who cares again, because every one of them is going to be this way. So you'll just say this is no meaningful shape. No meaningful shape. It's a who cares. All right, next on your notes is one called a time series. Sometimes you'll call this a time plot. You'll see it listed that way, but it's going to cover a specific period of time. And honestly, when I scanned in your notes into this one, it got kind of crazy with me on my axes. It kind of moved the parts around here. So we'll just sort of, I don't know, I guess we'll just draw this in here a little bit. Okay, and it's a dot and segment graph. Okay, so you just go across here and you're going to put the years. So I'm going to break this off here. I'm going to start here at 1990. So we'll say like 1990, 91, 92, 93. Okay, this one's going to come out to be a dot and segment. Over here on the side, we'll call this number of writers in millions. And we will use dots and segments. I'm going to use a broken piece here so that we can start with a 70. And I'm just going to count by fives up the side. Okay, up to 90. And then, like I said, dots and segments. So we'll just go in order that it's listed. So I have an 88. Drop down a little bit here to 85. 75. 76. So we come up just a little bit. Looks like I lost a 94 here when I looked at the notes here. And we come back down. So then you just connect the dots. Okay, and you just call this, what did we have here? Bike riders. Okay, and then your time down here is in years. Okay, but that's the biggest thing, time in years. And again, is there a meaningful shape? No, but you could talk about the trends on the graph as far as increasing and decreasing. So that again is a time series graph. All right, then the last one we have on this set of notes is something called a pie graph. Pie graphs are useful when we want to show something part to whole. Okay, so we want to look at that. We're going to do a proportional part of the circle. I'm going to write up here part to whole. And it's referencing back to your frequency tables where we would do relative frequencies. And if you remember, relatives are decimals. And then we've got degrees and percent. So in this particular problem, the total value or total number of data points is 60. So you're going to do for the relative frequencies, take the individual frequency. I'll start that again here. Well, I was trying to get that off there for you. Or not, we'll just go like this. So we will do individual frequency divided by total. So I prepared those in advance, so doing like 3 divided by 60, I come up with a decimal 0.05. Okay, that means 5%. And if I multiply 0.05 times 360, that's going to tell me what part of the circle the first category is, which is convertible. And we'll continue through there. So 0.033 times 360, it's like 11.88. But since we're doing these by hand, let's just make these into whole number degrees for our work. Okay, and so forth. So that column, if I bring it over here, we have like 18 degrees, 12 degrees, 30, 180, and 120. And then the corresponding percents, 5%, 3.3, 8.3, 50%, and 33.3. Okay, so then using a compass, made a circle on your worksheet, which I can't do on the computer, so we'll pull our protractor out and use a straight edge on your notes. We can draw a straight line across. Then we want to measure, okay, we want to measure the degree with that protractor. Okay, so this is the part that's measured. All right, so first one, 18 degrees. So I'm going to just sort of estimate, because I'm on the video, 18 degrees, and then you write the word convertible, and you write the percent. So we measure the degree, you write the word, you write the percent. Okay, next one, 12 degrees, so we would put, that is a station wagon, and we have 3.3%. Okay, next one's about 30 degrees. That would be compact. It's kind of hard to do on the notes here. Compact, so we're at 8.3%. Next one up is 180 degrees. Well, that's half the circle, so I'm just going to take that and put it down here and put the word coupes. 180 degrees, which is 50%. So that must mean this other side over here is 33.3%, and that corresponds to sedans. Okay, so again, measure the degrees, we write the word, we write the percent. Title on here, we should try to put some kind of a title. These are car types. Okay, and that's your pie graph. And part to whole, and that's what we looked at. Okay, well, good luck with your qualitative graphs, and let me know if you need something. Good luck with those graphs.